I eyeballed that, and it's not perfect. This fence is not going to be perfect, but it's going to work for goats, and having a fence that works for goats is a pretty good fence. We used the Stay Tuff fence, and you can see right here, it's got a little gap, little gap, then it'll go up a little bit bigger. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Bonham Tx. I'm Josh, and we appreciate you clicking on this video. So what I got going on is I'm building a new goat fence. I tore out the old. You can see it used to be right through here, and I'm putting up a new fence. So the fence that was there was probably 50 years old, corroded. Goats' heads were getting stuck daily, and I just had enough. So I tore it completely out, cut some trees out. I've got everything I need here to build a fence, and I'm gonna bring you guys along on how we build goat fence. So the materials that I have are T-posts, clips, got some Stay Tuff goat wire that's made for goats, and I got some barbless wire. So I got everything I need. All I got to do is get busy and get it put together. So a good tip for you guys is, if you're building a new fence, you want to go with the wire that's going to be right for goats. And this Stay Tuff wire is the wire that I want to go with. It's tough, it's stout, it stays up. You don't have to use a whole lot of T-posts. It's easy to stretch. So here's what it looks like. And once we get it up, you'll see a little better. But here at the bottom, it's got little bitty, and then it gradually gets a little bit bigger. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take that barbless wire, I'm gonna put it on the bottom, and I'm gonna put it about, I don't know, maybe 4 inches from the bottom, and I'm gonna stretch it all the way down, and then I'll lay my T-post out. The reason why we put that barbless wire on the bottom, we take hog clamps and put it on the fence so that fence can't roll up. Nothing can try to get underneath it. So that's what I'm gonna do first. I've got my fence cleared out. I'm ready for the new fence. First thing I'm gonna do is stretch a barbless wire at the bottom. So I've got my fence stretched out. I got my come along, and I'm going to tie it to my H-brace right here. So I got everything out. Now I just need to stretch this bottom strand. Then I'm going to get my T-post laid out, and I'll figure out my spacing. All right, so this is what it looks like. I got my H-brace right here. I've tied on to this part of my H-brace, so when I stretch this wire, I can tie it back here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna walk down here and just push this line over. I've got it pretty good, not tied enough how I want it. I just wanna make sure that it's not hung on nothing, and I can tie it off here in a little bit. So I got everything pushed out the way I want it. So I'm gonna give it a couple more clicks. Pretty tight. Alright guys, so it's another day and I'm out here working. It's going to take me several days to get this done, with a little bit of help, I can get this put up, but I'm in no rush. I'm still battling stage 4 cancer, so I do what I can do. But I thought that I would bring you guys along and show you building a brand new fence for goats. So my last video clip, I had got my bottom strand wire stretched out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to space my T-post. I got all my T-post over here, and the reason why I got my tractor out is I want to use what can help me make this job easier. So I'm going to get my T-post stood up, and then I'm going to drive them down with my tractor bucket. We've had several inches of rain, so the ground's really soft, so it shouldn't be very hard. But I got this straight line to go off of, so I can make sure I get a good straight line with my T-post. So every little thing that I do, this is how we build fence. You might do it different, but I thought this video might be educational for you guys if you're wanting to put up a new fence, if you're building your first fence ever, and this might help you out. So I've got all my materials, I've got some new product, and no, I'm not endorsed by anything, so I want to use what works best for me. I seen these online, and I thought I would try them. They're a lot supposed to be a lot better than the ones that you have to wrap around the wire, the T-post, take a little tool, spin it around, tighten it up. These kind right here. So I'm trying out a new product. I want to see how it works. I'll let you guys know. So we're going to get this little bitty fence stretched up. It'll take us, it's been down for a while, but I've been battling something, and when I get tired I give it up, I stop, because I don't want to overdo myself. So I just do a little bit here and there, and when I got help I use it. Today my help is the tractor. Joe's supposed to come help me when he gets a chance, so we're gonna get to that. All right, so my help showed up. Joe, he went over to grab his cart, and what I've done in the process is I counted from where I tied the fence on to down there at my H-brace, and I counted the steps. I divided it by my T-post, and what I did was I just went 4 steps for every T-post. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I got my T-post spacing. So now what we're going to do is, when Joe gets back over here, we're going to stand this up. I've got my straight line, and we're going to use the bucket to drive the T-post down as far as we need them, and then that's how we're going to get our T-post in the ground. So that takes a lot of the manual labor out by banging and using this thing right here. We won't be using that. We're going to use our tractor, make it work for us, make it much easier. But this fence, once we get it going and get the right days, this is my neighbor's property, so it's kind of going downhill. So over here is mine, and it's in a spot to where it's kind of muddy. So what I'm doing is I'm doing what I can do. So this is going to take several days, but I'm going to walk you guys through the process of how we build a fence. You can see the mud. I've got my mud boots on, but I'm just doing what I can do and not overdoing it, and I've got some help. But I probably overkilled the spacing on my T-post, and I just want it to look good from the road. So I've got to get this tied up. I've got to staple that, and I eyeballed that, and it's not perfect. This fence is not going to be perfect, but it's going to work for goats, and having a fence that works for goats is a pretty good fence. So when Joe gets over here, we're going to get these T-posts stabbed, and I'll film some of that showing you guys how we use our tractor to do that, and I'll be happy. We got rain in the forecast, but as soon as we get plenty of good dry days, I'll get this fence up, and I'll be able to use this right here. It's a few acres, maybe 3. acres, 4 acres, and I can use this right here for my rotational grazing. I've got it cross fence. I've got another fence on the other side of this little pasture. That's where I've got some lespedeza planted. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some heavy rotational grazing, and I just invested in a good charger, fence charger, a hot fence charger, solar powered, and I'm going to be doing that video and showing you guys how I'm going to run my solar fence, and just kind of give you guys a sneak peek of it. I'm going to tie on to this right here, and I'm gonna put my box, I think I'm gonna put my hot box up here, and I'm gonna run it straight that way, and I'm gonna go behind that pull down, and I'm gonna cut across, and I'm gonna make several different pastures and rotational grazing, and I'm gonna heavily rotational graze to try to make this better grazing grounds for the goats. So if you're not subscribed, right now is a good time for me to tell you guys to go hit that like, subscribe button. Stay up with us because you don't want to miss any future videos. Ring the notification bell, and we really appreciate it. So we got our T-post drove, and we did that in just a matter of minutes with the tractor, and now we're going to attach these new
Yeah, you got them down there.
clips. So
See you go.
like that, and then spring loaded. There you go. That's it. I mean, that's pretty simple.
Too.
Fast. So we're going to attach this wire, make it good and tight, and we're using these new clips.
But it'd be nice to have them probably just to catch one side
Yeah.
and not. You can even move it down a little bit.
Yeah.
If you, you know.
Like where it's at.
Yeah. After you put that on.
Yeah.
What's going on here? I don't know. Get it right here. Let's see if you can push it down past there.
Yeah. What do you think about those?
That's pretty neat. That's a, somebody's always coming up with something better.
Yep.
It's easier, a lot easier than them others. You ain't got to twist nothing.
All right, so we got all those clips put up and got the fence row started. This worked a little while. We probably worked about an hour or so, and that's all I need to do is just do a little bit and not overdo it. So we got that done. We got the T-post in, got the bottom line run, and then we got the bottom line put on with those clips, and I really like those clips. They worked easy. You can put them on by hand, but they work a little better if you have a plier in your hand. Snatch them on one side and pull them around the other side. That worked really fast, really easy, and they're really strong. So I really like that product. I will, like I said, I'm not sponsored by anything. I just want to do stuff that works for me and pass it on to you guys. So it's a good company and they have a good product, and I'll link them in the description below. So we're done for the day. It might be another 2 or 3 weeks before we get to do anything else, but this has just been a slow process through what I got going on, just doing what I can do. So bringing it to you guys, showing you how to build a goat fence. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you whenever it dries up. Well, after a short hospital stay with the hernia bleeding, we're going to get back out here. I got some help coming to help me build this fence, so today we're going to try to get this put up. So I've got the fence right there, and we got the T-post up, we got the bottom strand stretched. You guys seen that, so we're going to roll this out and we're going to put it up, and hopefully it all comes together. Just waiting on the help to get here, but I couldn't do it without them with my injury right now. So hopefully I'll get some good footage of us putting up this Stay Tuff goat fence. Well, we've got her stretched all the way down. Joe's putting some steeples in. So it's coming along pretty good. It's still very muddy out here. But these clips on these T-posts are working great. Fence don't need much. This type of fence, it don't need much stretching at all. It's very stiff. You get it up, pull it just a little bit, and you got it. We're gonna continue on putting clips on the fence and try to get it straightened up. Get it good and tight. All right, guys, we finished up with the fencing. I had a lot of great help. I couldn't have done it without those guys. I've been in a lot of pain, and I'm not supposed to lift anything, so I'm doing what the doctor says, but I cleaned this out months ago and finally just now getting to it. And what I was telling you guys is we used the Stay Tuff fence, and you can see right here, it's got a little gap, a little gap, little gap, little gap, then it'll go up a little bit bigger. So this fence, it don't take much at all to stretch it. It stretches really easy. You don't have to stretch it much. It's tough, it's hard to tie together because it's so stout, but we got it up. Now our goats can graze this, which is the plan. And I'll walk down here and show you the whole fence line, kind of how it all come together. But I recommend the Stay Tuff brand fence, and using these clips right here. These clips are super easy to put on. They just clip right on. You don't have to do all that tying, and I really like it. It makes this fence really nice. So let's go down here to the other end and show you what I got going on, and show you how a future video of what I'm doing something about. So I'm walking down here to this other end. I didn't get to run the camera because I tried to help out as much as possible, just helping out by standing this fence up when we're trying to stretch it. And plus, as you guys can see, it is very muddy. So I filmed as much as I could, and turned out really good. So right here is the H-brace. We got everything stapled to it. I've got to finish tying these up a little tighter. It's so muddy right now, I can't get to it. I'm gonna have to do something right down here. Probably put a piece of panel in there to make sure nothing can get underneath that. But this is what my new video is going to be about. So what we've done is this is an alleyway that goes way back to the back, and what this is hot wire, brand new hot wire box. So we are going to do some heavy rotational grazing. So I'm going to do a video about hot wire, setting that up, so stay tuned for that. But everything come together. These goats are able to graze this pasture. This is a pasture that we planted back in the fall, and it's come up this spring, and I wanted to get this fence up so these goats could utilize this, and that's what we're done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you go down, like, subscribe, follow us so you can stay up with what we got going on. We're going to do the hot wire video, and then we put this goat fence up for you guys to see how we do it. I cleared the fence row out. We added T-post, and then we put the fence out, rolled it out, got it up nice and tight, as you can see. So appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Up to your nose, big boy.